Hey folks, Pops here, and today I'm taking a closer look at the X11 from StilL 630. This is the 11th release in their experimental collection, and I've decided to call this one Smoke-A-Palooza. So if you're interested, smoke them if you got them, and then come along with me as we take a closer look. So why do we call this one Smoke-A-Palooza? It's pretty simple. It's because of the mash bill. It starts out fairly simple as a high rye bourbon with roughly 60% corn and 20% rye. From there though, that's where we kind of diverge into what leads us to be called Smoke-A-Palooza. A whole bunch of different malted barleys are in here, and there's so many of them that I need a cheat sheet to make sure I get them all right. So bear with me. But what we have is 5% applewood smoked malt barley, 5% cherrywood smoked malt barley, 5% mesquite smoked malt barley, and then 5% malt barley. So all in all, there's 4 different malted barleys that are part of the overall mash bill, and together they represent 20% of the total mash bill. Now, if you've been following us along, you'll know that all of those malted barleys have been used in previous experimental collection releases. So whether or not David and his team were saving them with the goal of putting them all together, or he just got crafty as he was going along and mixed them together, we may never know. But ultimately what's going to matter is how it smells and how it tastes. But before we get there, the thing to remember is that, like all of the other experimental collection releases, this one is going to be aged in 15-gallon barrels, so it is going to have a little bit of that small barrel taste and aroma. In this case, it was aged for 15.5 months. And once again, bottled at 100 proof like all of the other releases have been to date for consistency. So those are the technical specs. Let's go ahead and dive in and find out how it stacks up to some of the other releases. Once again, as with so many of the StilL 630 releases, you're going to get that small barrel oak up front, but this time it's immediately hit with a billow of smoke, if you will. There's a tremendous amount of smokiness in the glass, and underneath that smokiness is a spiced caramel vanilla, if you will, aroma and scent. Just stopping shy of getting into baking spice territory. It's not quite Christmassy, but it's, we're getting into the fall for sure. And that smoke just adds a nice layer to it that kind of complements the fall atmosphere, if you will, that I get on the nose of this one. Well, the smoke immediately falls into the taste of the flavor on the palate, as does the sweetness, and a little bit of a tannic oak from that small barrel. Once again, the balance isn't too bad, but with all that smoke going on, it's putting some overly tannic notes on the finish, and I'm getting a lot of smoke. The sweetness and the spice dissipates fairly quickly, and what I feel is the side of my tongue done with the kind of the tannins. On the nose, I couldn't pick out one smoked malt over another. It's just too faint. So there's clearly a lot of that smoked influence going on, and I think on the palate, while it doesn't taste bad, it's a little too tannic for me. Nothing really just jumps out. Nothing super distinguished for me. And I think maybe that's because the smoke is overpowering it. I don't know. But then again, a lot of the smoked malt versions before were not on top of a bourbon and rye mash bill either. They could have been single malts and whatnot. So I'm not a huge fan of this one, not because it's bad, but because it's just not exciting to me, and I'm not quite sure what you'd have to do to tweak it. I guess really the only thing I could say is that maybe trying to mash all of those smoked malts together isn't the best idea. Instead, choose one and go with that. Wild Turkey, with their recent release of Long Branch, introduced us to mesquite smoked at a major distillery release. And while there is some extra smokiness in that whiskey, there wasn't anything super unique to that. And that may just be that it's too little on top of too strong of bourbon flavors and profiles. And so there's probably a fine line to dance there. In this case, I really don't think it adds anything to the whiskey, and probably would prefer them just to stick with the smoked malts, on more of a single malt type of line, American malt approach, if you will, because I think you get more flavor from there from having the single grain and having that really be the focus of the whiskey. So, but once again, that's what the experimental collection is all about. So it's not about a home run, it's about a single, a double, a triple. If you get a home run, that's great. David and his team have already made it clear that these releases are going to provide them with guidance and help them form the roadmap for the future of the distillery. We may see some of these releases come out as future products. We may see them tweaked. We may see them blended. We really don't know what to expect, except that it's a lot of fun. And we are 11 months in, and full disclosure, I'm posting this way late, so the X12 has been released. That's going to be my next review following on this very quickly. And then we're into the second full year, and who knows what that's going to bring. But I do know that it's a 5-year journey, that 60 whiskeys, we're 12 in, and last time I did that, my math, that means there's 48 more to go. So, with that said, I want to thank you for checking out this video, and if you like it, please subscribe so you'll be notified when you get another of the StilL 630 Experimental Collection releases. And at the same time, make sure you go over to our website at bourbonbanter.com, sign up for our email list there as well. And in the meantime, guys, thank you so much, and cheers.